Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump has made a proclamation, an announcement, a threat, I guess, and it's all about tariffs on the film industry. So I thought we'd take a look at this and discuss, well, one, what he said, whether it's good or bad, and just unpack all of this and what the industry is saying about it. So Donald Trump tweeted, or Truth Socialed, whatever, this out. And he said, the movie industry in America is dying a very fast death. Other countries are offering all sorts of incentives to draw our filmmakers and studios away from the United States. Hollywood and many other areas within the USA are being devastated. This is a concerted effort by other nations and therefore a national security threat. It is, in addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. Therefore, I am authorizing the Department of Commerce and the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands. We want movies made in America again. So, obviously, a lot of this this is strong words, right? So let's unpack it. Upon initial reflection, I can see why he's doing this. I don't necessarily agree with it wholeheartedly, but I can see why. The aim is to make America a manufacturing country, right? A place where things are made, not imported, a place where things are made. Now, the practicality of this doesn't really work. You know, you can't make The Lord of the Rings in the US. You can't. You just can't, right? It's not possible. So practicality-wise, this hasn't really been thought through. But then there were things such as, I don't know, Disney making Mulan just down the road from a concentration camp. You know, a slave labour camp of Uyghur Muslims. Bit weird. That was in China. You know? Bit odd. Bit of an odd one. And then thanking them for it. Bit odd. Bit odd. This would have prevented that. This would also prevent Disney from effectively booking out Pinewood Studios in the UK and taking my tax money. Now, does this then have a benefit to the UK as a film industry hub? Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. But pros and cons. Pros and cons. I can see why Donald Trump is doing this for America. I can see how it would hurt other countries as well. But his idea, again, practicality, it doesn't actually work. But his idea is to make countries manufacture things individually. Now, I would imagine he's going to soften this like he did the others. I don't know whether he will or he won't, but I'm going to assume he's going to soften his stance. He's sort of coming in with a bludgeon first and then trying to sort of dissipate outwards from there and sort of nullify and soften it. Now, this could destroy Disney, actually, because without, well, one, if they make something abroad and then they bring it home, 100% tariff, that'll cripple them. If they don't make things abroad, they don't get the tax incentive. The UK gives them 25.5% of their production budget back. Work that one out. Right? So that would cripple Disney because a lot of their films only do as well as they do and don't lose as much money as they could do because of that kickback. Snow White being one of them, actually, funnily enough. So this is, yeah, interesting. There's a lot of... The comments are interesting down the side. This is over on Twitter. And they've got loads of views. 14.2 million views. So our movies suck and lack creativity and originality. So tax the good movies. Okay, bro. It's not really what he's saying, but okay. One person gets it here. Says, y'all don't see what he's doing. You report it like a bad thing. But he's taking it back to everything being American made. It helps other countries too. Because we all have to start creating again instead of relying on imports, which is true. That is what they want to do. Would this have affected Lord of the Rings? Or are they talking different kind of movies? Yeah, don't know. So I get this to a point, but I actually like a fair number of foreign films, and I don't really want to see actual foreign films punished just because the American studios suck. That's true. That is true. So this could destroy the film industry in terms of, I guess, you know, the sort of blossoming film industry abroad. And you have the industry reacting to it over on Deadline. So, industry reacts to Trump's insane movie tariff threat. This would destroy the independent film sector. Yeah, it actually very well could, which is a bad thing. Donald Trump has no authority to impose 100% movie tariffs, Gavin Newsom says. Studios scrambling to find out what POTUS wants. I mean, he does have the authority, and he can do it, actually. You know, Disney, a US company, goes abroad to make their film when they could make it at home. He does have the ability to do a 100% tariff. He does. I'm sure there'll be legal challenges, but he does have that ability. And yeah, it will destroy a lot of stuff. But he does have the ability. So the US and international film sectors are reeling after Donald Trump's announcement last night that he is authorizing, again, the 100% tariff, blah, blah, blah. So we've covered all this. So it says this: the threat, while seemingly embryonic and lacking in any detail, has sent shockwaves through the US and international film sectors. The impact, should anything close to this come to pass, would be seismic on the global film sector. What a bombshell, one leading German producer and distributor simply replied this morning. It's insane, a veteran UK producer told Deadline. So US companies can only make US films. James Cameron can't make Avatar overseas. Who pays the tariffs? Leading independent distributors would all be out of business if it's them. We talked that he said produced. He said films produced, so I assumed the producers. In what may prove to be the get out clause for industry, the same producer noted, you can't impose on creatives what stories they can tell. No, that's true, but you can impose the location they wish to tell it. I.e., they wish to. You can impose upon them where they're choosing to mediate, you know, put those things on film, those ideas on film. You can do that. So studios and streamers would also take a massive hit from any such move. This is also greatly impacts the streamers whose model is to produce locally and exploit globally, including the core US market, added a veteran international seller. Would a foreign shot production ever see the light of day in America? Would it be taken off US streaming services? So all of the leading studios makes movies overseas, including many of the major tentpole franchises such as Avatar, Mission Impossible, James Bond, and countless others. The MPA in America has yet to comment on behalf of the studios. In his second term, many of Hollywood's leading players have shied away from publicly criticising the president, and others have cozied up to him. Will this move prompt some to raise their heads above the parapet? It's interesting. So a French distribution veteran says he will kill the US industry quicker, as this will increase the cost of US films that already weren't selling internationally. Creating incentive for shooting in the US would have been smarter, but I'm not sure he has that much intelligence. Well, the film industry is killing itself, actually. So, yeah, no. Can't see his target here other than confusion and distraction. Let's hope this only encourages desperately needed increases in US state tax incentives being implemented as soon as possible. I mean, it's all just too much money. So there's a lot here. A lot of people are just questioning it. I can see why they wanted to do it. Well, I can see why he wanted to do it. But yeah, it's an interesting one. The UK's reply to this. It says, last month, the Culture, Media and Sport Committee warned against complacency on our status as the Hollywood of Europe. President Trump's announcement has made that warning all too real. Making it more difficult to make films in the UK is not in the interest of American businesses. Their investment in facilities and talent in the UK based on US-owned IPs is showing fantastic returns on both sides of the Atlantic. Ministers must urgently prioritise this as part of the trade negotiations currently underway. At the same time, the government's forthcoming creative industry sector plan needs to meet the challenges we set down of incentivising inward investment while also growing our domestic sector so British film and high-end TV can thrive. So there's a lot here. Again, there's a lot. Lots of people just, poo-pooing it. I think the goal is noble. It's a noble goal. Get things made in America. How can you argue with that as a good end, right? As a good goal. How he's going about it could also destroy plenty of stuff, which is bad. So this is like a wait and see situation. Just see where things go, I think. Because there could be a bigger plan at play. There might not be. FYI. And this might just be a really dumb move. But so it's interesting. It is interesting. So there you go. Let me know what you think down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.